Okay, let's react to some vids, bros. Actually, speaking of Travis Scott, we have a video called "The Downfall of Travis Scott's
Being one of the
Cactus
top rappers
Jack."
of the modern age and having
I don't know if this is the downfall of Travis Scott's label though, because remember, SoFaygo's situation, his deal was he had an independent distributor. Okay, so it obviously didn't do as well as fans thought, but we also didn't have all of the information when Pink Hearts released. Also, Don Toliver's doing super well. Travis Scott's doing super well still. Sheck Wes did really well, but kind of independently beforehand. It's Sheck Wes's fault why he's not doing he's not doing big numbers anymore, because he stepped his foot off the gas. But I don't think he wanted the fame. I think he just wanted the bag and to live a regular life. I understand that. Still not a good look. I agree. But I think the next project SoFaygo might look into actually getting a major distribution deal with, like, you know, one of the majors, Interscope, or the partnership that Cactus, because Cactus Jack is literally just like Travis Scott, and it's like 3 dudes in administration. So they don't really have people who their full-time job is to look after the marketing and pushing of SoFaygo's music. So that's why the album didn't. But independently, if you think about it, SoFaygo still went crazy on that. Anyway, though, the downfall of Travis Scott's Cactus Jack. Let's see if they got any good points.
a multi-million-dollar company, Travis Scott's label Cactus Jack was made for success. Having 3 rappers blow up over the
I made a label so I could flop and lose hella bread, so that it could be a money laundering system while I clean all my money in the Galapagos Islands.
Each of them having a promising career, just for everything to crumble down into an abyss. By getting exposed for views, one of your signees becomes...
Oh, god damn. I remember that with the Don Toliver fake views. But again, that's Atlantic. Cactus Jack has nothing to do with that.
Extremely irrelevant to even causing one of them to possibly have left. Even having a major tragedy take place, Cactus Jack...
Oh god. Yeah, there's been a lot of controversy with the Cactus Jack label. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about Sheck Wes. He's kind of... He just lays low. SoFaygo though, yeah. Don Toliver, yeah. Travis Scott, for sure. But I think they're all doing big numbers. Like Don Toliver is one of the... Let's check his monthly listeners, bro. And again, I know this isn't like the most accurate metric, but he's still doing big numbers. He's just like one of those pop artists. When you get him on the hook, it's bound to make a decent song. It's almost like a 1 level down Sway Lee. Look at this. 20 mil? Come on. That's a successful artist if I've seen one. Uzi's at 32.
Was quickly becoming more of a failure in recent times. But why is this the case, with Travis having so much money, especially when he's already successful? To answer this, we have to look at the very beginning of this label, and that's what we're going to do in today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy. In 2017, Travis Scott started his label with rappers and producers involved. For today, we are only looking at the rappers. The very first rapper Travis laid his eyes on was Smoke Perp. And well...
Was it? 2017? Was that what that was? Yeah, he wanted to do like the green and purple, but then I think he realized, like, damn, Smoke Perp might actually not be good enough to sign for Cactus Jack. So he's just like, yo, we'll do a song, and it maybe didn't perform as well as he would like, so that he just dipped.
We know how that's doing.
Yeah, see, it's a good thing that he did not sign. Like, I think if Travis Scott were to sign somebody from that generation, it would have to be somebody who is the forefront of the brand. And frankly, look, Smoke Perp has some hits, like Audi goes crazy, but Lil Pump was like, Smoke Perp was like the sidekick to Lil Pump. So, like, if he were to sign somebody, it'd be Lil Pump, but I don't think he would sign Lil Pump.
To this day, we actually do not know for sure if Smoke Perp was ever actually...
He was not
signed to Cactus Jack, although there has been claims even by Travis himself that he was. But if we look at like the album or single releases during that time, which explains why people were confused if he was truly ever signed or not. However though, Travis did co-sign him and gave him a chain. In reality though, it wasn't really like all that for Smoke Perp, because all Travis really did for him was give him a feature on the song Fingers Blue.
Let me check something. How did Fingers Blue do on, I think that's Dead Star that album was on? Yeah, Dead Star. Let's see how it did in relation to the other songs. So Fingers Blue, I thought it was Green and Purple. What is Green and Purple? That's the Playboy Cardi collab. All right, so Audi beat it. Fingers Blue, but that was a single. Okay, so Fingers Blue did higher streams than everybody else. So yeah, it looks like it was successful, but it did have the biggest name on there, Travis Scott, as opposed to maybe like Lil Pump, which was, again, relevant at the time. But yeah, I would assume that the Travis Scott song would do the best. I didn't show y'all, did I? 44 million right here, as opposed to like 2, 3, 10 million. Audi's definitely the banger on there though. And thoughts on the X case? I got you. I'm making like a whole doc on that. Till my fingers blue. Till my fingers blue.
Started the chain for things to come.
I'm not trying to get copyrighted. Come on, bruh.
Label. Cactus Jack's first official artist is New York rapper Sheck Wes. With his hit song Mo Bamba, Sheck received a lot of attention, including
I think that song was actually going viral before Cactus Jack signed him. Let me see some. Mo Bamba. I guess Travis did buy that song, or at least he got him signed to a major label, probably got a huge advance for it because it is distributed by a major, which is what? Interscope? All right. But yeah, Mo Bamba, didn't that hit like #1 or something? Like that was a huge song. I remember I couldn't get away from that song. It was overbearing, to be honest.
Likes of Travis Scott. This caused Travis Scott to start fucking with Sheck's music. To be honest, signing Sheck Wes was a great idea, especially at the time where it looked like Sheck Wes had a promising career. Sheck Wes was officially signed to Cactus Jack Records and Kanye's label, Good Music, alongside Interscope Records. See, Cactus Jack is not really an official label, it is more of a record deal.
It is an imprint.
By being signed under the artist's name. Think of it as a huge cosign by someone. Now, by being Cactus Jack,
and he probably has some resources, like he can get you in the door with, you know, since Travis Scott's already a big artist, he can get you in the big record labels' offices to get that big deal. And it's almost like a guarantee, like this is going to be a successful artist because he's backed by Travis Scott. And he can get you in, you know, the Hollywood parties where you can take pictures with like Uzi, like all those Drake, like Travis Scott is connected with everybody. Metro Boomin.
They do not have distribution.
And Travis did not kick Faygo out of the label, bro. I know this for a fact. So Faygo still signed to Cactus Jack.
Rights of Sheck. This is why they decided to work with a distro deal with Atlantic Records in order to distribute his music. Cactus Jack didn't have one independent artist signed, but more on that later. As Sheck was continuing to blow up, he decided to announce his debut project titled Mudboy in 2018. Around the same time of this announcement, Travis would be ready to drop his highly anticipated album, Astroworld. Cactus Jack used this album as promotion for Sheck Wes's upcoming album. See, Astroworld had a bunch of hidden features on the project, with the likes of Juice WRLD, Drake, and even Frank Ocean. Amongst these hidden features included Sheck Wes on the song No Bystanders. This causing Sheck more exposure to Travis's fans. However, on the song Can't Say would be the introduction to a new mysterious artist, Don Toliver, who would later also—
Who's that Pokemon? It's Don Toliver!
Also signed to Cactus Jack a month later after the release of the project. 2 months later, Mudboy would drop, and in my opinion, Mudboy was nothing too crazy, but it would end up being the highlight of his career. To this day, by having hits like Lift Sheck Wes,
to this day,
and Wespin being the highlights of this album. Mudboy had no features and it sold a little over 25k sales within the first week, in which in reality is nothing too crazy for the rapper, especially after being on Travis Scott's album. Now having 2 artists signed to Cactus Jack, things were looking good for the label. 2019 would be the peak for Cactus Jack, followed by the release of Jack Boys, which was a Cactus Jack tape.
Okay, I could see that. Because Mo Bamba was huge. Don Toliver, I believe what's the song? He had a couple songs after Astroworld that were just blowing up on TikTok all 2019 during and before Jack Boys. And then also he had Lemonade with Internet Money. He's not the primary artist on there, but he's a feature. What is it called? Like After Party and No Idea. Both of those songs were going crazy. They both got 500 million streams on Spotify alone. Come on, bruh. You can't. So yeah, I guess 2019 was peak of Cactus Jack. But I think that they just have slowed down a little bit because they're bigger artists. They need to be more patient with their releases, make sure that they're right.
It had the entire roster of Cactus Jack, plus others like Pop Smoke, Little Baby, and Offset. This would go on to sell over 154K in the first week. In 2020, Don Toliver would have an insane blow up, especially after the hype he got from Can't Say. With having a direct distro deal with Atlantic Records, Don Toliver would start the rollout for his upcoming album, Heaven or Hell. Then dropping on March 13th, 2020, alongside having Cactus Jack members on the album, Don would see an increase in popularity. Thanks to TikTok, songs like No Idea, After Party, and Cardigan would have a massive blow up on the platform. This caused a major push for this album and made Don the most successful artist on Cactus Jack. Heaven or Hell would sell over 44K in the first week. Due to his popularity, Sheck would quickly get
That's not bad for a first project. I'm not gonna lie.
Pushed to the side by Don Toliver after becoming the most successful artist within.
But even Trav is telling Sheck Wes to drop, but he just doesn't want to. I think with such a big song like Mo Bamba, that's kind of screwed up his, I don't know, his career in a way. I don't know if he feels like he has the pressure on his back to drop something that's that big again, because it's gonna, no matter what, it's gonna be underwhelming, at least the sales and like the reception compared to Mo Bamba, like anything he drops now, because that was a #1 song or very close to it.
Cactus Jack. See, for Sheck Wes, all his fame began depleting, which caused his irrelevancy to start. In 2019, Sheck would only drop a total of 5 songs, and 2 of them being features from him. Sheck would release Losing My Mind, Sadio Mane, YKTS, also known as You Know the Scouts, as solo tracks. He would be featured on DJ Snake's song Enzo alongside 21, Gucci Mane, and Offset, and Chase B's song Mayday alongside Young Thug. Enzo and Losing My Mind being the most successful out of this 5-track run. Then in 2020, Sheck would only drop once, then dropping only 1 feature in the following year. Bro just fucking dipped. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where the fuck bro went. However, in 2021, the world met the latest member to the Cactus Jack roster, and the main reason for me making this video, SoFaygo. After his hit single, Knock Knock,
Travis could have been even bigger than he is, but he was scared of the numbers. Now he gonna sell less than 200K and just become some mid rapper knowing, nah man, I think Travis, no matter what he does, is gonna be huge. Like, he's one of those artists that really knows how to put together a rollout and an album, like cohesively put something together and bring the hype. Like, he's just that kind of artist. He'll recruit everybody he needs to make it huge. And I think Astroworld only sold like 250 by itself, and then it sold 250 or so with merch bundles. So in my eyes, he just needs to beat 250 for Utopia to be successful, and I think he's at that level. Like, Travis Scott is huge. For sure.
Blew up on TikTok, SoFaygo had the world watching his every move. Travis would start to fuck with the Michigan rapper, especially when he got introduced to his other song, Off the Map, and started co-signing him. With Faygo being signed to Cactus Jack sometime in 2021, he would end up on Don Toliver's project, Life of a Don, on October 8th, 2021. This album was extremely successful and definitely solidified Toliver's role within the label. Even being backed up by Cactus Jack, Faygo would end up releasing only 1 song in the year of 2021. This was extremely horrible for his look as a rapper, especially after having the snippet for his song Let's Lose Our Minds reach over 1.7 million views on Instagram.
Let's go!
This was a huge issue for the fans, because by having more money backed into your music, you should show us how you are improving, especially being signed to a major. Things would be...
He wasn't signed to a major though. He was only signed to Cactus Jack as an imprint, and then he had the indie.
Even worse for Faygo when on November 5th, 2021, where a major tragedy would take place. Astroworld was seen as a major festival for Travis and Cactus Jack fans to enjoy. However, on this day, everything would go...
And this marks the downfall of Astroworld. I think people have actually forgotten about the Astroworld tragedy. I think not many people care anymore. It was just something to be... The news cycle is literally like, let's find something to be pissed about for a month. And then let's move on to the next thing. And then the next thing. And the next thing. And the next thing. That's why I just don't even watch the news. I don't even care, bro. I don't even care. But Travis Scott just happened to be in the red dot sight of the media that week. But I guess people did pass away. But it wasn't his fault, man. He just happens to be the famous person associated with it.
Downhill due to the amount of people trampling over each other on this very day. Many would blame Travis for not stopping the concert, while many were crying out for help. This would cause 10 people to die, and hundreds of people were injured. With
with the Astro situation, I feel like there are people who literally just go on Twitter and try and find shit to be pissed about. Like, they probably travel from city to city just joining protests of like, yeah, what are we protesting? Teachers, because, you know, they're not letting us talk about gay stuff in classrooms. And then like, oh yeah, I'm pissed about that too, even though they've never thought about it in their life. They just want to be angry. Cancel culture is ridiculous.
3 of them being under the age of 16 and the youngest being the age of 9. May the victims rest in paradise.
People definitely had a reason to be mad. Okay, I agree with you. But the people involved, bro, like, the internet, the reason cancel culture is so whack is because it's like taking issues that are not related to you whatsoever and infuriating you. Like, if you get infuriated by situations that do not relate to you or not involve you whatsoever, that's how you know you're a boomer, or you got issues. You got internal issues that you want to be angry at something on the exterior because of something interior. Sorry.
This event would cause many companies to cancel Travis Scott since it was his festival. Major companies like Nike and Epic Games would quickly disassociate with the rapper. Rightfully so, many of the victims' families would also sue Travis for the damages he has caused. The rapper would receive more than 500 lawsuits, with one lawsuit tying Drake into the mix, seeking up to $750 million.
But see, when you tie Drake into it, that just means you're begging for money. It's like the X lawsuit, or X trial, where the defendants are trying to blame Drake, and it's like, bro, we got you on camera.
The hate would increase for Travis when he would do an apology in his Instagram story that no one would even take seriously.
I just want to send out prayers to the...
Where's the downfall, though?
To the ones that was lost last night. We're actually working right now to identify the families so we can help assist them through this tough time. You know, my fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to...
Because of the behavior within this video, a lot of people would just meme this apology. Although Travis was not entirely to blame since it was his team at Rock Nation setting up the event, Travis could have played a bigger role with protecting him.
Live Nation. Or actually, are they joint? Live Nation and Rock Nation? Maybe they are.
His fans. Thus putting a hiatus on Faygo's upcoming album since Cactus Jack was severely under fire. We get to see this play out too, because Faygo would release his highly anticipated album, Pink Hearts, on November 11th, 2022. After all the Nike commercials, the Jimmy Kimmel performances, and Apple Music highlighting, this album finally came out.
Yeah, as much as it was an independent release, I'm not gonna lie. SoFaygo, this album definitely had a lot of like push behind it, just from the Cactus Jack connections, Jimmy Kimmel, Apple Music playlist, as this guy just said. What else? He just had a lot of organic hype too, because although he let it die down a bit because he let the momentum fade, but still, like, they still had. And I think SoFaygo's been on Rap Caviar too, but again, it might be independently. Hell yeah, has been going up independently.
And well, I'll let the fans speak for themselves. Yeah, we ain't wait 2 years for this? Bro got signed and forgot how to make good music. Kinda disappointing. Things would only get worse for Faygo when up-and-coming rapper Yeet would drop his album 2 Alive back in February.
I wonder what would have happened with SoFaygo's career up until this point. Like what his how do I explain this? What his reputation would be, or Pink Heart's reception, if Yeet never existed, if Yeet never came in the game and like stole the flame, because fans could have very well been continuing to look forward to SoFaygo's project if Yeet didn't come in and swoop up all the hype.
2022, which sold 35k first week. SoFaygo, on the other hand, would not even reach the Billboard 200, meaning he sold under 10k. This caused the fans to troll Faygo even harder, which caused him to rant about the situation on his Finsta account on Instagram. Faygo responds on his Instagram story, "Rather cut all you fake ass half supporters loose and rock with the people who really fuck with me. My fan base only to get stronger over the years. I'm already up financially, bro. I don't need you bros, I just need my fans. I don't need critics telling me how to live my life or make my music. You know, you go make $1 million then since you know so much." In which then a fan responds saying, "You make it hard to be a fan, bro." And Faygo just says, "Then don't be one." I don't speak much anymore because I know how you bros like to flip narratives and play dumb like you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm only gonna get greater and greater, and my haters gonna get sadder. Pick a side. You gonna be a supporter or a hater? Now look, bro, you understand, you're still a kid. But instead of fighting,
This dude is still a kid. Okay, as I was saying though, I think SoFaygo's deal is gonna be even spicier than it was before Pink Hearts. I know people think that he lost his hype, and he did a little bit from the outside looking in, but if we're talking about strictly numbers, again, Hell Yeah is on Rap Caviar. So is, I think, the Nav track. And he's going on tour with Nav. He's gotten more and more associated with Travis Scott. So I really, truly think that his deal is going to be way better. I think his monthly listeners are up too, because again, Hell Yeah is just going up. Look at it, it's at 22 mil. Okay, so we had Knock Knock, that's at 213 mil. Let's see. What was Off the Map at? 23. So it's about to pass that. And the reason Knock Knock did so well is because the Lyrical Lemonade music video, right? As well as the TikTok trend. Maybe that would have been the perfect time to sign, but I think Knock Knock was around the same time as Cactus Jack, so maybe he got some from Cactus too. I don't know. We'll see.
Against us, work with us. We only want to see you up, bro, at the end of the day. Like, that's all we want. We want to see you win. And by having this disagreement between the fans and you,
I'm not holding anyone's career up. I'm just giving y'all the numbers. There's a difference between what the talk of the underground is versus how a song is truly performing. You know that there's tons of artists that people aren't really even talking about but are streaming super well. Like take Rod Wave. I always see his numbers going up and they get big sales numbers, but like nobody talking about their antics and whatnot because it's just not the culture in that niche.
this is gonna get you nowhere at the end of the day. And now we all see that by you being part of Cactus Jack is honestly hurting your career more than aiding it, and that's not good.
I disagree. Actually, I think if he kept to his own, I think it would have been better in the long run, because he was already doing well by himself with Off the Map. But I think what they were trying to do was like get the infrastructure or the brand of Travis Scott, which has heavy influence in merch sales and tours and tickets. And so that's where the real money is, because Travis Scott has real fans. Whereas like if you're streaming well, okay, you're doing well, but like you're getting paid 0.0045 per stream. Whereas a ticket, if you got a ticket, it don't even matter how much music you drop. If you have one album that's solid and that people will continuously mess with generationally, then you can sell $45, $50, $100 tickets for the rest of your life, you know, or the rest of your career.
Literally would be further proven 2. When Faygo's manager commented under a post saying, "Yeah bruh, he's fully indie, never signed to a major. This album came out through STEM, an indie distribution. He just was Cactus Jack and he's their only indie artist. Apple just loved SoFaygo and wanted to highlight him and what he was doing as an indie artist." Now, okay, let's be honest. That Apple highlight, cap. That's just cap. Like, there's something behind the scenes. Obviously, since he was signed to Cactus Jack, someone probably knew someone at Apple and they had a connection there. And that's why.
Probably facts. Yeah. I feel like because he has the Travis Scott cosign, it's like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So they're trying to be on Travis's good side. Maybe he'll promote the Apple Music playlist when the album drops instead of the Spotify.
He was there. There's no other way around it, to be honest. Now, even then, going the indie route was the worst possible choice since there was no push for Faygo's album on major playlists. In fact, I'm pretty sure Faygo's and Ken Carson's song Hell Yeah was put on the Rap Caviar playlist like a whole week after or a few days after. Sheck and Don were also under fire.
But so
as well.
Think about it. Is it really a bad thing if, and I agree with the point where, like, if you're signed to Travis Scott, you're supposed to be like the biggest thing ever on this planet. So go big or go home. And like with going to indie, yeah, you kind of screwed up your hype. However, money wise though, if you're signed to Travis, you're indie, right? With a distribution at least. And you got Hell Yeah on Apple Music and Spotify playlists, the biggest ones at that. The Up Next playlist over there on Apple, and then Rap Caviar on Spotify. That means you're getting bigger, like it's a smaller pie, but a bigger percentage of it. So is it really an L? I don't know.
Sheck released a song with a FaZe member. Yes, a FaZe member. And his other song, LFG, barely surpassing over 680k streams. Then with Don Toliver being exposed for botting views and comments on his latest music video.
It wasn't him, bro. It was Atlantic. The artists have no idea about the botting.
For Do It Right. Although this is technically Atlantic's fault since Don is tied to Travis. Right. And since Travis is the face of his label, then his entire label receives the blame. 2022 is currently the worst year for Cactus Jack, with 2023 not looking good either. Recently, Travis unfollowed SoFaygo on Twitter, causing many to believe Faygo either left or got kicked out of Cactus Jack. Either way, in my opinion, it's a W for Faygo. This is most likely due to Faygo realizing how Cactus Jack is hurting his career, or Travis Scott kicked him because...
Okay, I don't know if Cactus Jack is hurting SoFaygo's career ever. I just think that it's not pushing him enough. But hurting... No. Cactus Jack cannot hurt your career. It can only boost you.
His potential is just gone. Now,
but yeah, Opium is probably the top artist label right now.
Before I end off this video, I want to say that Travis can't market his label properly. This is why Cactus Jack ultimately fails as a label. Unlike Cardi's label Opium, where Cardi is not a public figure, so when he co-signs or signs something, it means so much more. Now compared to Travis, who is a big public figure, he has to do these crazy marketing stunts to show the world who these people are. And overall, this just fails because you're putting so much money into promoting them without the music speak for itself. And I know I've been shitting on Sheck Wes's entire video, but to be honest, his music barely has changed and he doesn't seem to want to do music anymore. And overall, I just want to see Faygo win. And similar to the fans, I genuinely wonder what would happen if he has joined.
I don't know if it's necessarily like the reason that Travis Scott's cosign doesn't mean as much. I think it does mean a lot if we're talking commercial deals, but underground fan base that are going to be super fan cult fan bases to your new artists. Yeah, Cardi's is worth more. But if you want to be on Jimmy Kimmel or like get McDonald's deals, SoFaygo had a Foot Locker deal, then it's going to be Travis Scott, if that makes sense. So you got to pick and choose which one. Like, what do you really want? I think that's why artists shop around labels, because they all have different strengths.
Opium, things could have been way different, man. Cactus Jack had an extreme amount of potential, but since these artists have controversies or simply don't seem to care as much, it causes us to lose faith. It's 2023 and still no word of Utopia as well. Whether or not Cactus Jack will make a comeback, one thing for certain is the fans are beginning to lose.
Yeah, Cactus Jack is more mainstream than Opium. Like, you get more eyeballs, but they're just not as strong. I don't know, man. I feel like this guy's being too harsh on Cactus Jack. I feel like it's not that big of a deal. Cactus Jack is fine. Don Toliver's gonna drop a project. I think he did like 60 or something. I don't know what it was, but it was better than the first project, or like numbers wise. Travis Scott's gonna drop Utopia. I don't know if it's gonna be this year or next year, but I feel like they just move differently. It's more commercial than Playboy Cardi's. So like the underground fan base is always gonna resonate with Cardi's more because he's more like deep rooted in the rollouts, whereas Travis is the commercial deals. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's washed. They just move slower, for sure. But Cardi definitely knows how to do marketing. I'll give him that. He probably has a better label, like long term, because they like move independently, whereas Travis is like heavily dependent on connections, if you will.